Sick Days 101. How to recover fast and how to know when to go back to work, okay? Actually, this is my day. Today, right now, I'm going back to work. I was off for a couple days. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna do a video about this real quick to show people how they can try to recover faster and get right back to work. Have you ever woken up and you just felt like you just woke up and you hit a wall, right? Your head's pounding, right? You got the muscle aches, right? And you're trying to figure out, like, should I call in sick? Yeah. So right now there's kind of weird viruses going around, right? Variants or whatever they are, right? So sometimes they might affect us more, sometimes they might affect us less, right? Than usual. But the main thing is just try to keep that immune system strong and boost it up, okay? Signs, you probably should be staying home, you guys, right? Like, if you have like a respiratory infection, right? Like the flu, colds, or COVID, you probably shouldn't be at work. Trying to tough it out, that usually just spreads it more, right? So we got to be respectful to everybody, gastrointestinal illness. So like stomach bugs, right? And I think that's what I had or have, or I think I just finished the symptoms. But like stomach bugs, like food poisoning, it's kind of hard to tell the difference too, right? How do you tell if you have a gastrointestinal illness, right? Well, I guess the fever would be over 100.4 degrees. You would have a persistent cough. You would vomit or have diarrhea. And you would probably feel too weak to stand without wobbling, right? But stay home, right? Rest isn't a luxury in this case, it's a requirement. How do you speed up the recovery, right? That's what everyone wants to know, right? Well, I did some research. I found Dr. Berg, Dr. Mercola, and Barbara O'Neill, just to try to get diverse perspectives on how maybe we can recover quicker or maybe even avoid getting sick, right? All right, Henry, so first thing you want to do, right? You want to get plenty of sleep if you get sick, okay, dude? Now, I know you didn't get sick. I did. Dogs, I don't know if they get sick. They might. Yeah, look that one up, too. I know they get sick for treats, but you want to stay hydrated, dude, okay? So you guys, make sure you get plenty of sleep, right? Because your immune system needs to rest, right? And then, dude, you can't be taking that treat off the desk, dude. You're slobbering everywhere, man. Jeez. All right. He's never done that before. He's very respectful with treats, but I guess he got sick of it. He's like, dude, I'm going to take that treat right now. I'm going to get it. All right. So we got sleep. We got hydration. So we got to make sure we have water, right? So water, clear broths, maybe some herbal teas, skip the sugary drinks, right? Be careful with herbal teas too, because some of them will draw, will pull toxins out of you, right? And stuff. So like if I'm like recovering from an illness, right? Sometimes you want to boost your immune system, but also you got to be careful, because if you give yourself too many nutrients, too many detoxifying, if you detox, well, you're going to be depleting a lot of the minerals and vitamins that you need that are in your body. So be careful. Detoxing is good, probably when you're not sick, at least from what I've learned, from my experience. So nutrient support, right? Zinc, vitamin D, potassium, and electrolytes, right? So make sure you got your vitamin D, okay? And then, your electrolytes and stuff like that. So you're going to want to just focus on like lighter foods, right? Like maybe soups, maybe steamed veggies, right? Or, if your stomach is not feeling right, just fast. Don't eat anything. Let your body reset itself, right? You don't want to eat sugar. That's a tough one for everybody, right? feeds inflammation. I did a video about inflammation, and one thing it talks about is sugar. Also slows down your recovery, right? Because if it's inflaming your body, right? You want to avoid stress as much as you can. Avoid junk food, right? Give your body a break, and the tools it needs to recover. When to go back to work, right? You called in sick. You're trying to get rest. You're trying to follow these steps, right? When are you good to go, right? Well, follow this checklist, okay? Write this down. But fever-free for at least 24 hours without medication. No vomiting or stomach issues for at least a day. So just to let you know, I had a stomach bug. I don't know if it's a norovirus or what it was, but I usually don't get sick. But I got to admit, I wasn't taking my vitamins the last week like I usually do, my vitamin C and stuff like that. So maybe it got me that way. I don't know, but it got me. And the one thing I did look up, and I did notice that is if it's gross, but if your stools are not, if they're runny, if they're loose or whatever, then typically you're still contagious, I think. So therefore, that's a good test. See how your bowel movements come out, and then you can find out if you're not contagious or not. The thing you want to do is you want to make sure your energy is back to normal. Okay, you're going to feel normal energy levels. So when I went to the gym on Friday, I realized I shouldn't be at the gym, because when I tried to start working out, I realized that I couldn't even finish my workout, and that's odd for me. I always finish my workout. I don't remember ever not finishing my workout. So obviously my body was telling me something. It was like, oh, you got sick. So if you're still dragging, give it one more day. Just a little extra doesn't hurt. It'll help everybody around you in the long run. So you guys, just remember, right? Taking time to rest is not a weakness. It's smart. Okay. Most people call in sick for respiratory or stomach-related issues. The fastest way to bounce back is to support your immune system and be patient. Don't rush the process. And if someone expects you to go to work contagious, well, send them this video. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and others. Stay home when you need to. Heal smart.